for that pose. So welcome everyone. Go ahead and make your way into your seated Sukhasana, your easy pose. Remember, you could always sit on a pillow or a blanket. We're not here a really long time, but a few minutes. And just take a moment, maybe move around side to side, just allowing your awareness to come in to this time, this space, into your physical body, noticing how you feel. Oh, and then perhaps if you feel comfortable doing so, allow your eyes to close and your palms to rest open right on your inner thigh. Taking just a moment to feel. Feel your connection to the earth, to yourself. And then allowing your awareness to come down into your legs, into your glutes. Feel the part of your body that's connecting you down to the earth. Your tailbone slightly rounded up, right center in from your hips. And then begin to lengthen up from that tailbone. So feel yourself pulling tall through the crown of the head. As you do so, engage the shoulders down your back. Pull the navel into your spine. Lift your pelvic floor muscles. Now, if sitting on the floor is uncomfortable to you, you are always welcome to sit in a chair or on a bench. But take just a few more breaths here to feel the steadiness of your body. Feel the strength, shoulders to shorts through the core of your body. And feel that movement of your rib cage as it comes in and out. We're going to work on some heart openers this evening. So think about even here, externally rotating your shoulders. So that's taking the shoulder blades, pulling them together and down your spine. Feel that stretch through your chest. And then on an inhale, trying to hold that opening, bring the palms of your hands together, lift your thumbs to your heart. You're going to feel a little bit of your shoulders wanting to round forward. Try to keep that opening, shoulder blades down and back. And taking a moment here to set that intention for yourself. I like to think of it two ways. One is what brought you to class. Let that be your guide. The other way I like to choose to make my intention is more of a how than a what. So my how, I'm going to experience whatever comes my way. Great. It's completely up to you. Set your intention. Take your inhale. On your exhale, let that chin bow down toward your chest. Take a moment to flutter your eyes open, letting the light in. Then on our inhale, we'll reach our hands up overhead. Bring the palms of the hands together. Open the palms towards the sky. Big stretch up. Now, as we stretch up, we have that tendency to want to pull the shoulders up with the ears. Pull the shoulder blades down the back, but the palms of the hands up. Take an inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to twist over to the right. So bringing left hand on lightly onto right knee. And once you are steady, maybe working that twist just a little bit more. Think about taking the belly button to the right. And then on our inhale, we'll rise back up. And on our exhale, take that twist over to the left. Pull the shoulder blades down the back. Beautiful. Welcome, everybody. And then one more time, inhale, come up. And exhale, bring those hands down to your lap. From here, let's bring the bottoms of the feet out into that butterfly position. I'm going to lower my camera just a tad there so you can see my feet a little better as you are coming into your butterfly position. And just take a moment to flap your butterfly wings. So lifting and lowering through your knees, just warming up through the hips as you flap your butterfly wings. We're not going to take a super deep butterfly stretch here, but just enough to kind of warm up the inner thighs, and then maybe gently press the outer knees down towards the ground as I pull up, opening my chest slightly, pulling the shoulder blades down my back. Beautiful. Nice. Take one more inhale. And on your exhale, we're going to come back into that cross-legged seated position, but try to bring your not natural leg in front, right? So we usually have the tendency to set one direction. Switch that out. And this is where we're going to work a little bit on our open cow face pose. So if anybody came in after I announced, if you would like to grab a strap, you can. You do not have to. But I'm going to turn around so you can see what's happening on the back of my body. So I'm going to take my right hand, reach that bicep up by the right ear, bend the elbow, and reach down onto my spine. Then take my left hand, reach it away, palm faces behind me, bend the elbow, and pull my hand up onto my back. And maybe my fingers can touch. Maybe I can interlace my fingers and use that grip. Or this is where that strap would come in handy. I can hold onto the strap. So the purpose of the strap, or maybe interlacing your fingers back there, is to be able to pull the chest open a little more. So we're starting with that chest opener. So with the strap, right, I can use the hold of the strap to pull my chest open. Nice. And we'll take a couple of breaths there. So that nice opening through the chest, through the heart. And then release. Feel free to move those arms around. And we'll take that through the other side. So use the arm, I say, not because I'm not going to mirror you here since I already did that one side. So I'm going to inhale the left arm up, reach down, pat myself on the back. Reach the right arm away, palm faces away, thumb is down, reach around. Now, just for reference point, I'm going to turn around and show you. I am way less able to touch on this side. So you may find that as well, that one side is easier. So on this side, that strap would come in super, super handy for me because my hands are not anywhere close together. And then opening up that chest. Nice. But if the hands don't interlace, it's no big deal, right? I can still just kind of press into my back to open. Beautiful, right there. One more breath, inhaling, and exhaling. All right, from here, we're gonna start to move a little bit more. So if you were sitting on a pillow, go ahead and push that out of the way. We're gonna come on over to all fours and do some cat-cows. So on our inhale, we'll let that belly drop, lift and open the heart, right? A heart opener, even though it's down. And then exhale, pull that navel into the spine, tuck the chin into cat. And then just float through those a couple of times, floating through that cat-cow, moving at a pace and moving at a distance that feels good to you, right? So there's no, you don't have to drop a certain amount or round a certain amount. Come to where it feels good as you begin to warm up the spine, both in extension and flexion. Right there. One more time, drop through that cow and round up through the cat. And then as we come back down into all fours, we're going to inhale, left arm's going to rise up, opening the chest to the left. Maybe gaze up at that left thumb. Exhale, thread that left arm underneath, coming down onto the left shoulder. And then if it feels okay to you, raising the right arm, opening the chest. So adding a little spinal twist to this chest opening. Couple of breaths here. Reaching up through that right hand and pulling the chest open. Take the inhale. On the exhale, that right hand comes down. Left hand comes underneath. Keeping the bottom in the air, walk the hands out in front of you, dropping down into puppy. So feeling that work through the arms, through the chest. A couple of breaths here in puppy. If puppy does not feel good, you can always go into child's pose. Then on our inhale, sliding those hands back underneath our shoulders. Pause for that exhale, and inhale, right arm rises up, opening the chest to the right, maybe gazing up at the right thumb. And on the exhale, thread the right arm under, coming down into the right shoulder, maybe lifting that left arm. Reach up through the tips of the fingers, twisting the chest open. Taking an inhale. As you exhale, that left hand comes down, right hand comes through, back here to all fours, find your toes, curl them under, begin to press those toes into the ground, press the earth away, making your way into that first downward facing dog. So first time here in down dog, let's walk that dog out, lift and lower, pedal the feet. Remember, at any time, if down dog does not feel good, you could remain in child's pose, or you could come up using a chair or a wall, pressing back and still pedaling the feet right here. So you have all those different options. A chair or wall comes in very handy. Nice. Then lifting both heels, bend the knees a little bit so you can shift the chest a little closer to the quads, opening that chest, right? Even though it's down, heart opening. Let your ears drop between your biceps, start to straighten the knees and lower the heels. Pause, hold, downward facing dog. On our inhale, bend the knees, shift the gaze. We're gonna take our right leg, either step it or walk it between our hands. Coming into this low lunge, you can let your left leg slide back behind you. So left leg is long. Maybe taking that left knee, drop it to the ground. If it does not feel good on the ground, you can leave it up or you can place it on a pillow and inhale, right arm, twist, opening. Beautiful, right there. Take an inhale. On your exhale, plant the hands down, curl the toes, lift that back left knee, pull the navel to the spine, and we're gonna rise up into high lunge. Beautiful. I'm going to turn around to face the other way here. Take an inhale. On our exhale, this left hand's going to guide us open, sinking down into that warrior two. So right foot points front, left foot points out to the side, perpendicular to that right. Gaze out over that right hand, and maybe work into this front hip a little bit. Right? So you can bend and straighten it. Just working to find that range of motion. Beautiful. Pull the shoulder blades down the back. Now we're going to try to hold this lower part of our body where it is. Open that front right palm up. Exhale, reaching back, opening our heart. This left hand can slide down that back left leg, or that hand can reach up behind you. Side heart opener in this reverse warrior. Try to stay down into that front right knee, nice and strong. Take an inhale. On an exhale, we'll let this right hand rest lightly on my right quad and reach that left arm up right by the ear. Pull long through my spine, lengthening through that left spine. Beautiful right there. On our inhale, this left hand's going to pull us up back to that warrior two where we started. And then inhale, this left hand comes up and over, lift that back left foot, plant the feet down, step back, downward facing dog. So a couple of breaths here in down dog. Remembering you can push off that chair, the wall, or drop to a child's pose. Nice. From our down dog, before we do the other side, we're going to make our way forward into plank. So shifting forward, shoulders come over the wrist, knees can drop or stay up. Pull the shoulder blades down the back. Take your tailbone, slightly tuck it under, feel that strength. Nice. Take an inhale. Maybe drop the knees this first time. Chaturanga, that chest down to the ground. Then pull forward, shoulders come out in front of the wrist, rising up into cobra. Beautiful, chest opener right there. Squeeze those elbows into your side, squeeze your glutes. Open your heart. Gorgeous, my friends. Take an inhale. On your exhale, pull that navel to the spine, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Excellent. On our exhale, we'll bend the knees. We'll look towards our thumbs. We're going to either walk or step this left foot through to our hands. Walk that right leg back. Knee can stay up or drop it. Right? Right hand stays down. Twist. Left arm comes up. Try to pull long through that spine as you're twisting to the left. Yeah, stay there. I just wanted to see you all. You were behind me. Excellent. Beautiful. Take the inhale. On the exhale, left hand comes down. Curl the back toes under. Lift up into this lunge. This is where we're going to use our strength. Pull the navel into the spine to rise up into high lunge. Pull the shoulder blades down the back. Chest is slightly open. Take an inhale. Right arm leads us into warrior two. Sinking down into warrior two. Right, we can work that front hip, that front knee a little bit. Just using that light movement to sink deeper down. Pull the shoulder blades down. Think about the feet pulling apart, inner thighs pulling together, pelvic floor muscles lifting. On the inhale, open that left palm. Exhale, the movement is through the torso. Reach, open the heart. Maybe that right hand stays on the leg. Maybe it tucks up behind. Gaze up at the palm of your hand if you feel okay with your balance. If you don't, gaze somewhere like straight ahead. You don't have to gaze up. Sinking down, holding, feel that strength. Take the inhale. On the exhale, gently rounding forward. Let this left arm rest lightly. And right arm comes straight up, bicep by the ears. Lengthen through the spine and gaze towards that right palm of the hand. Beautiful, nice and strong right there. Now think about where the body's going, right? We're going to come back up to warrior two. So this right arm's going to lead us. Left arm's going to rise. Warrior two. And then our back right arm's going to loop over, lift that right heel, plant the hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Nice. Couple of breaths here in down dog, or feel free to drop to child's pose. We're actually going to make our way up into our first mountain of the day coming up. So if you drop to child's pose, come back up to downward facing dog. On our inhale, we'll bend the knees, shift the gaze towards our thumb, walk or step your feet to your hands. Exhaling into forward fold just for a brief moment. Inhale, lift that chest. So we're coming, it's not, our chest isn't necessarily completely parallel to the ground, right? But it's lifted. Now your hands could be on a block, a bench to help with that. You got it right there, opening that heart. Take an inhale. On our exhale, we're going to sink the glutes down lightly. Our arms are going to come up into chair. Beautiful. And then on our next inhale, we're going to rise up. Exhale, hands come behind the back. Interlace if you like them, or just let them be open. And opening the heart. So they can interlace, they can connect. Pull the shoulder blades down. Press the hips forward. But even as the hip bones are coming forward, the glutes are squeezing and the belly's pulling in to protect the low back. Nice. Take the inhale. On the exhale, start to lift softly out of this. Bend the knees. Let the chest lay onto the quads. Let the arms come up overhead, the head hang. Again, if it does not feel good to be upside down, feel free to drop the hands, come into a half lift, or you could come into a half lift here, keeping the hands interlaced. Take the inhale. On the exhale, softly release the hands, plant the hands onto the ground, and we'll step all the way back into that plank. Taking a few breaths here in plank, right? Shoulders over the wrist, navel pulled into the spine, press strong through the heels. Take an inhale, drop your knees, or maybe keep them up if you like, chaturanga all the way to the floor. We're coming all the way down. We're going to bring those hands back into that interlaced position. We were here standing. Again, option is just to reach the hands away, palms up, or interlace. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Squeeze the shoulder blades down the back to feel the chest lift, and maybe lift up those legs as well. Nose faces the ground into locust. Big chest opener. Beautiful. Take one more inhale and exhale. And then last inhale. On your exhale, allow yourself to just lay, rest onto one cheek, palms open at your side, taking a couple of breaths, lifting just the head, rest on the other cheek, take a couple of breaths. And then gently lift so the nose is hovering above the ground. Bring the thumbs underneath the collarbone. We're going to pull the elbows in, press the earth away, rise up into cobra, maybe rising a little higher this time, pulling the shoulders down our back, opening the chest, staying right here, or maybe really press, engage into the tops of the feet and lift the quads. Up dog. Beautiful right there. Take an inhale. On the exhale, start to push back. Step onto the feet. Coming into downward facing dog. A few breaths here in down dog. So down dog, a little counter pose to all of the heart opening, or come to child's pose. Think about driving the tailbone to the sky, pull the crown of the head down towards the thumbs. Take an inhale. As you exhale, the heels will lift, the knees will bend. Gaze at your thumbs, but go ahead and come all the way down onto your knees here, keeping your toes curled under. We're going to come up in to knee stand. Beautiful. So still working a little bit more on the heart opening, couple of more heart opening poses. We're going to bring our hands onto our back. So the palm of our hand would go kind of right there at our pant line. Our fingers would spread over our glutes. Engage the core, so pull the core in, then press the hips forward, squeezing the glutes, opening the heart into a camel variation, staying here, or maybe releasing your hands down onto your heels, pulling the shoulder blades together. Chin is engaged, so my head's not just hanging upside down. My chin is engaged, and I'm opening the heart. Beautiful. Gorgeous, my friends. Now to come out, bring your hands back onto the low back. Pull the belly into the spine to lift up. Plant the tops of the feet on the ground. We're going to come into rabbit. So we're going to curl ourselves forward. Take your chin, tuck it to your chest. As you start to set towards your heels, let your spine round forward so that your forehead comes down here in front of your knees and you're resting on the top of your head, the crown of your head. Now you can use your hands by your ears for a little support, or you can reach your hands back to your heels, holding onto your heels and coming up as if you were going to do a forward roll. So I'm kind of rolling onto the back of my head. Now this is a deep stretch on the back of your neck. If that does not feel good to you, my friends, just bring the arms by your side, lay your forehead on the ground into the sleeping baby. All right, so like child's pose, but more releasing. So rabbit pose is very tucked under, very rounded. It is one of those poses that may not feel good to everybody. And then to come out, you bring your hands by your ears, lift the head, come on back up to all fours. Beautiful right here. Oh. Once we're on all fours, we'll take those ankles, cross them behind us, work back into a seated position. Feel free to sit back on a pillow to lift you up for a forward fold. So taking the legs out long in front of you. Easy forward fold, just walk the hands down the legs. Lengthen through the spine a bit first, but then let the head soften, let the back round. We did a whole lot of back opening today. So letting that release in this forward fold position. Let this feel good, right? We're not really trying to, set any records on how deeply we can stretch here. Think of it a little bit more as recovery. And then we'll work our way back up. Coming into the seated position, we'll take our right foot and step it over the left quad, coming into some gentle twisting. So left arm's gonna hug that right knee in, pull up tall here, think about twisting from the navel. So we did a lot of heart opening and then some counter rounding of the spine. So we're just gonna finish with some nice twisting. If you wanna take that left leg and tuck it up under you for a deeper stretch through your hip, you can. If you wanna reach that right hand behind you to twist open a little more, you can. Nice. And then we'll gently release. Take our left leg out long, or our right leg out long, step the left leg over. Hug the left knee in, set nice and tall, twisting from the belly. If you want to tuck that right leg up under you, you can. If you want to reach that left arm behind you, you can. Mild twisting. And releasing. We'll take those legs out into a straddle. So take a little time to straddle out. Relax the shoulders down the back. Gently flex the feet. Walk the hands forward if you feel like it, right? You could stay right here. Nice inner thigh opening. Welcome, those of you that are starting to make your way in for unwind. We are finishing up beginning yoga. We'll be transitioning. So we're kind of already moving towards that little bit more of an unwinding state. We'll be transitioning towards that. A few breaths here. Feeling that stretch through the inner thighs. And on our inhale, slowly make your way up. So we've reached that time that is a transition between two classes. So I know some of you will be leaving, some of you will be coming in, some of you will be staying. If this is the end of the road for you this evening, I invite you to roll on down to your back, right, and come into that Shavasana. And then just stay here as long as you like. You can even stay here into the beginning of unwind. If you are staying for unwind, right, you know we're going to get this Shavasana at the end. So maybe you use this 35 seconds that we have left as a transition to get some water. If you are coming in and you're just now coming in, use this time to grab some pillows, some blankets, a yoga strap, perhaps a tie, a belt. We are going to work a little hamstring stretching tonight. So feel free to grab a strap, a belt of sorts, and have that nearby. And welcome. Welcome everybody coming in for Yin. Thank you so much. Those of you that are headed out this evening, enjoy the rest of your evening. Maybe it's bedtime if you're on the East Coast. Maybe it's dinner time if you're on the West Coast. Whatever it is, have a beautiful evening. Thank you for joining me. Namaste. And welcome. Welcome to Yin. Unwind. Right? Yin and unwind. Unwind is that little important piece that's tagged onto yin. So yin by itself is about, going into these poses and we hold there for quite some time. And we normally want to do yin when our body isn't so warm, because when our body is warm, we can go a little deeper into poses and we want to be careful. So those of you that just did beginning yoga, your body may be a little bit warm. So I invite you, when we come into our yin postures, just be aware of that. Don't try to overstretch, because we are going to hold there a bit. And then that second piece of this class title, unwind, right? Don't go so far in that you're straining, that it takes your breath away. I want you to be able to relax, to unwind, to rest, to restore. So with that, as you are making your way into this comfortable seated position, maybe you need to move a little bit. Maybe you're ready to find stillness. Take a moment. Notice. Notice those sounds that are there all day long that maybe you don't hear because you're busy. Your mind is active. And your eyes are open, so you're more likely to see than to hear. But if you feel comfortable closing your eyes, I invite you to do so. And just listen. Don't try to identify the sound. Just noticing it. And as you begin to bring your awareness even more inward, noticing your breath, I invite you to come into what we call Ujjayi breathing, the breath of sound. So if you bring your awareness right to the base of your throat, and you kind of partially close off the airway, right? The breath makes that sound that comes in and out. It might remind you of Darth Vader. It might remind you of the ocean, which I find more relaxing than Darth Vader. But notice the passage of the air through that throat chakra. And hear the sound that it makes. And if you like, perhaps imagine lying on a beach, hearing the ocean waves coming in and out. The skies are just the way you want the skies to be. The temperature is the exact temperature that you want it to be. And the busyness of the beach is exactly as you choose it to be. allowing yourself a couple of minutes in this paradise that you have created. If a beach scene does not work for you, you are welcome to imagine something else. A place where time doesn't matter. Your to-do list doesn't matter. Place where you can be anything and do anything. See yourself just as you know you are, your true inner being. There is no ego here. There's no voice that tells you things aren't perfect, because they are. And just as we can find joy and light and happiness here in this moment, we can find it anytime, anywhere. It is a state of being. It's something we create, not something that is put on us or given to us. Bring your awareness into your hands, your fingers. Maybe lightly wiggling your fingers to bring you into the presence of your physical body. Allow the palms of the hands to come together, the thumbs to rest at your heart. Right here in this time, this space, today, this hour, this minute. Pause and love yourself. We are all on a journey. And where we are right now is right where we should be. And take that moment to just love yourself right now. When you're ready, release our hands. Take a moment to let your eyes flutter open. And maybe just add a little bit of movement to your body. A little light twisting side to side. Maybe some gentle, easy rolls of the head side to side. And then whichever way your legs are crossed, we're just going to switch that out just to balance ourselves out, because we're going to be here just a bit longer. Bringing your hands on to kind of your inner thighs, start to sway side to side, feeling, some movement through the side of your body, that lateral movement of your spine. Nice. And the next time you come over to the left, just pause there. Gently pressing into that right inner thigh, trying to engage that right hip down, lengthening through the side of the body. Oh, feel that length. Then perhaps taking this left hand, reaching it lightly down to the ground, bring this right arm up and reach it over. chest faces forward. It might even slightly round towards the sky. The neck is just an extension of your spine. It's not excessively dropped or raised. You can walk that left hand a little farther away if you like to reach deeper through the right arm. Try not to let that right glute come up. Bring your awareness into your belly and start to rotate the belly towards the left. Right? It's only going to go so far. Just let it go as far as it wants to go. And then take this right hand and slowly let those fingers lower towards the ground. They may not touch all the way to the ground. And just feel all that awesomeness going on through the back. Notice your breathing. You've just massaged your lungs into each other a bit. We'll slowly start to raise this right arm back up. Let the belly come forward, and then let the right arm lead us the rest of the way up. A little bit of rotation. Bring the hands back on the inner thighs and start that light side to side. And then the next time you come towards the right, holding there, gently press down on that left inner thigh, creating that length. Maybe that right hand comes down to the ground, that left arm goes up and reaches over. Think about taking these left fingertips, and there's something just out of reach, right? Or reaching for it. That right hand can slide a little more away if you like. Maybe we're even opening our chest towards the ceiling a little bit, if that feels good. Trying to just let that neck be an extension of the spine. Bring the awareness to the belly. Start to move at the belly. Slowly. Pausing where it feels just right. Remember, we don't have to go as far as we can. And then this left arm slowly starts to lower to the ground with control. It may touch the ground, it may not. As we floss, right, as we are moving this arm, we're flossing the limb, which is taking all of that fascia, all of the muscles, the ligaments, the tendons, and moving them. And then pausing. Trying to hold steady on the breath. Try not to bring tension into the glutes, the pelvic floor. And we start to raise the left arm, and as it raises, the chest comes back forward, and the left arm leads us up a little side to side. Take a nice breath. I hope that felt as good to you as it did to me. Oh, my back feels so nice. So from here, we're going to go ahead and bring ourselves down to our back. If you came in after I mentioned if you'd like to grab a strap, a belt of sorts, you don't have to. We are going to work the hamstrings, the inner outer thighs a bit. If you do not like laying on your back for whatever the reason is, instead of coming to our back and placing the strap on our foot on the floor, right, we could place the strap on our foot here and come into a forward fold, letting our other leg be wherever it feels best to us. Right? So that is an option you have. If you're happy coming down to your back, take your time. Come on down. When you get down there, it may feel good to just give yourself a hug and rock around on your spine just a little bit first. Just taking some nice breaths. A nice little massage. We'll place the left foot on the ground And then if we choose to use the strap, placing the strap around the ball of the foot, or if you have one of these little handy ones that has these little hooks in it, I can place my foot in between. If I don't have a strap or don't want to use a strap, I can hold onto my hamstring, my calf, or even my foot. You can take that strap and wrap it around your hands so that your hands just hang without really having to grip the strap. I want your hands to be as comfortable as they can be. And then just take your time coming into this position, right? It's not about just jumping in and trying to go as deeply as we can in the stretch. It's about taking a little bit of time. You can start to apply a little pressure with the strap onto the ball of the foot, feeling that stretch. And just hang out right there. This looks like someone might have come unmuted, so let me check that. All right, I think it's okay. And then if you're feeling pretty good here, you can always straighten that left leg. So if your left leg is still bent and you want to straighten it, right, laying it out on the floor. We're taking some time in these poses. But I will continue to remind you, it's not about trying to go into your deepest stretch that you can. I like to use that cotton ball analogy. There may be a couple of you here in class that haven't heard it yet. So if we took a cotton ball and I start to pull it, and I pull slowly and gently and just a little bit, and I hold it there, then if I lay that cotton ball down on the counter, right, it kind of holds that new shape. But if I take that cotton ball and I just pull, 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 I can pull it apart. I can tear it, right? We don't want to do that. And if I pull it too fast, I might tear it without even realizing it. So our fascia, right, is the same way. We're gently stretching it, holding it. It holds its new shape. And then over time, we stretch it a little more and a little more, right? And it begins to remember and hold that newer shape that creates more space so fluids can get in and out, oxygen in the blood supply, the lymphatic system. From here, we're going to take this right leg that's in the air and just let it fall to the left a little bit. Right? I don't want to roll to the left. So I don't want to lift that right hip up. I just want to think right here at this hip joint, the leg falls to the left. Now I can add a gentle pressure pulling with my right hand, and that's going to add this stretch down the outside of my right leg. Now, if you are in that seated position, so perhaps you decided to stay here in the seated position, what you can do is let the toes start to fall in, right? And that'll get a little bit more length down that outside. Now I'm keeping one strap in each hand, but you could, take both straps into the left hand and anchor down with the right if that feels better to you. And then again, just hold. If you've come too far into the stretch and you feel like you can't hold here, back out of it a little bit. Finding that place where you might feel something going on. Just kind of good, but there's some sensation. But I can stay there for 3-ish minutes or so, sometimes even longer. Think about softening through the torso, the back, the belly, the glutes. And then we'll let that leg come back center. We'll start to bend that right knee into our chest. Just give that knee a hug. We're going to let this right knee fall to the left side of our body. So I can anchor my right arm out. And now I'm taking an actual spinal twist. That right leg can stay stay bent, or I can start to straighten it. If I feel better bending my left knee, I can keep it straight. If you're in that seated position, we're just going to bend our knees and we're going to let them fall to our left. So we're getting a little bit of a spinal twist in the seated position as well. Try to soften through the shoulders. Bring your awareness into your jaw, right? Where your upper jaw joins the lower jaw, right back kind of below the ears, the mandibular joint. Maybe give a very soft shift there. Somebody walking by wouldn't even notice. Just making sure you're not clenching. Anytime you like, you can revisit the place from the beginning. Place you imagine. Just giving yourself permission to take a break from whatever is happening in your life. It's not that we're pretending it's not there, right? We're acknowledging, I've got all this stuff going on. Oh my goodness, this is happening at work, da, 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 da. But everybody deserves a break, right? And we're going to be able to function so much better if we step away from it for a little while. So I'm acknowledging that it's there, but I'm acknowledging that I deserve to take a moment and fill up my cup. Because, we can't pour from that empty cup, right? From here, we'll make our way back onto our back. Placing both feet on the ground, knees towards the ceiling. Maybe you lift and lower your glutes a couple of times just to readjust from the seated position, or from our back position, we're going to go into that left leg. So perhaps using the strap onto the left foot, extend the leg towards the sky, maybe wrapping that strap around your hands. Holding in this mild position to begin, right? Gently pulling that cotton ball. Let it hold its new shape. Then maybe we stretch it a little bit more, maybe straightening that right leg. Letting yourself appreciate the stillness. a relative quiet. It may not be perfectly silent where you are, and that's okay. But try to just take in the sounds around you without letting them disturb you. And it's fine. It's fine. And let that left leg fall slightly to the right. If you're in a seated position, right, you can rotate the foot inward. As you come across, we do often have that tendency to come farther than we need to, right? Because we're looking for sensation. We feel something, but then we hold it there and we realize, oh, I can't hold it. So back it off a little bit. Find the place you can hold it. Softening the shoulders. Trying to let the hands just hang, not pulling so much. And then backing off, bend the knee, hug the left knee into the chest for a moment, move it around. And anchor that left arm out and bring that left knee over. The knee can stay bent, the knee can straighten. My chest is still facing the ceiling. If it's too much of a twist, right, I could bend both knees, stacking them together, making that twist lighter. If you're in that seated position, right, just letting the knees fall to the side. Bringing your awareness to your heart. When our knees go to the right, our chest is slightly open, and our heart, which sets a little bit off to the left, right, is very open here. Just imagine that love, that light coming in, and allowing yourself to let go, to release any hurt, pain, anger. And I'll gently come onto our back. Maybe lightly lifting and resituating through your glutes. Maybe grabbing pillows or blankets, pillow behind your head, underneath your knees. If it's a little cool where you are, maybe tucking a blanket around you to feel safe and warm. Shavasana. Resting pose. Giving yourself a few minutes. Anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes can be really nice. we have just a little bit of time officially here together. But I invite you to stay even past the time that the class ends. Maybe you stay here on your back, maybe you decide to roll onto your side or a child's pose, or maybe you decide to slowly make your way to seated, but then give yourself a couple of minutes there. Just enjoying a little bit longer. Filling up your cup, fill it all the way up to the top. The love and light in me honors the love and light in you. Namaste.